Welcome to Let's Share, hosted by me, Leah Byers, president and founder of Have Anita Ministry, a faith-based nonprofit that promotes the human interaction of sharing what we have and expressing what we need. The guests in the podcast are the people who I have connection stories with and have something meaningful to share in their communities of connection. Thank you for listening. Let's share. The faith-based foundation of Have Anita Ministry is built on the principle of sharing, with God, our Creator, serving as our ultimate source. As the president and founder, I felt a deep calling to create a 31-day devotional journal titled Giving Plus Receiving Equals Sharing, which is now available on Amazon. This devotional journal is a heartfelt reflection on why sharing is fundamental to the human experience. Each day offers insights that not only inspire personal growth, but also equip you to make a positive impact on your community. When you purchase this book, you aren't just receiving valuable reflections and encouragement, you're also contributing to a greater mission. All royalties from the book will go directly to Have Anita Ministry, allowing us to continue our work of sharing with others in need. Let's embrace the spirit of sharing together by engaging with this journal. You'll be fostering a culture of giving and receiving in your life and community. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you for your support. Hi, I'm Dr. Leah Byers, and I'm the founder and president of Have Anita Ministry. And today, we're just going to reflect a little bit on 2024. And I'll be doing that with a PowerPoint, but also doing it in the podcast. So you can either look at it on YouTube or we can just have you listen to it on the podcast. So let's check it out. So essentially, this experience in 2024 is definitely a sharing of progress. It's been a wonderful year. And one of the things that I'm very proud of is we went from being silver transparency to gold transparency on Candid, which means I've been able to share a lot more things about information. And so you can look that up and also know that as an organization that was launched in 2022, we are now 3 years in. Kind of amazing. 2025 will be our third year, but last year was our second full year. And it's a great opportunity to be able to share exactly what's going on. So, as I mentioned, I am the president, and I'm also an adjunct professor. I have a coaching practice called Seventh Level Leadership Solutions. I'm a coaching consultant, and I have a wellness company marketing director role where I'm able to share some wellness things that both benefit the Have Anita Ministry and also hopefully others and myself. So there's a good sharing in that. And this year we have, as we always have, had 3 boards of directors, but now we have a new one and one that has stepped down. So we'll be talking more about that. As I mentioned, the why in this always kind of comes back to the fact that I had a wonderful mom and she was a very giving, sharing person. And people always said that Mary June Kemp was somebody that would give you the shirt off her back. And that was the kind of person that she was. And I know that her role in benevolence in church was something that I ended up overseeing. And she was just somebody that really modeled for me sharing. And I realized that we needed to have some sort of a connection, and it started out on Facebook. And it was basically the phrasing of essentially at 7-Eleven, they have little dishes that you can leave change or you can take change as you need it to be able to pay with cash. And that's kind of how I came up with the idea of Have a Need a Ministry, because that's really basically what it is. Basic theme is giving plus receiving equals sharing. It is not just one or the other. Need both. You need to give and receive to be in a sharing mindset. And there's some core values: communication. Good communication ensures we give and take of information. Equality, everyone has something to share and everyone has something to give. Generosity, giving with open and generous hands allows for receiving. Grace, humanity is messy and grace is necessary in sharing. Healthy boundaries, respect for personal boundaries is vital to building trust and sharing. Safety, caring and sharing includes safety, giving only for beneficial purposes, not for selfish purposes only. And stewardship affirms ownership which is a temporary responsibility on earth. That means that really anything that we give or receive is just something we're stewarding in that moment. So this is a Florida-based organization, but even being Florida-based and being founded in Miami and now also extending up into Northeast Central Florida in the Ocala area, serving the Southeast and North Central Florida is definitely a part of it, but also we've been able to serve people in North Carolina, Massachusetts, Georgia, and have benefited people in a variety of ways. And they've also benefited us. So it's a giving plus receiving equals sharing opportunity in location as well. Again, we're on social media, and that includes Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. It's an official 501c3, and we both want to join Facebook groups and want especially other nonprofits and people to join our Facebook groups. So the two main ones are the one in South Florida and the one in North Central Florida that people can follow and get specific information. And then Havanita Ministry also has its main profile on all those locations as well for just main general information. The goal is to just grow it a little bit each month. We're not paying for advertising. It's meant to organically grow by sharing. And so if you're watching video, there's some QR codes that you can scan, but you can also just look up Havanita Ministry on those social media profiles and you can start following us, and that would be great. 2024 is Hannah's third year. Growth opportunities. We have a new board member, Marta Ramirez Duque, and she joins myself and Cira Gonzalez. Ibai Paris, who has been our board member since the foundation, stepped down, and we appreciate her service and help. We have had in the past year new connections and donors and resources. Our total funding percentage increased about 65% last year, which is kind of surprising. We are a very small nonprofit, but man, it's been amazing how God has provided, and we've been able to help more people because of that, and hoping that people just give because they want to. It's not because something we've been really promoting or pushing. It's just been people feeling like they wanted to share their funds, and they did. Events are also part of the effort last year. We did some things in downtown Ocala for Bo and the Cloud, and I've done a podcast with Tierra. This summer, we did support Ocala for Jesus in preparing for fundraising for the upcoming thing that happens every year with the Marion County Nonprofit Foundation. And it's been a great collaboration with a very important nonprofit, and have done a podcast with Jim as well. And the Ocala Clothing Swap did a YMCA event in the fall, and it's an amazing organization that does free clothing for anybody. They can give clothing and they can receive clothing, and there's no expectations. And I think it's a fantastic organization because when you're donating clothing to certain organizations, they sell your stuff. And that's fine, but there's things that are just getting more and more expensive. I was at one of those organizations that's the biggest in the country, and they were selling shoes for $25 and $30 that are used. To me, the idea of sharing clothing with Ocala Clothing Swap is a great thing. And then this winter, I attended and participated with this nonprofit, Havanita Ministry, with the Fostering Foundation for a Christmas event for kids and their families at the World Equestrian Center. And it was fantastic. Had some volunteers there that were connected with me very well. And we were able to provide a way for people to make a little ornaments and candy and just be able to share. And it was a wonderful experience. So events are also a part of what we do, because Havanita Ministry is not about us doing stuff. It's about us being supportive of other things that are going on out there. There are some families that we have supported directly, and that includes a family in the past year that we were able to help one of them get into an assisted living facility, a family with some young children that was really suffering, living on the verge of homelessness at times and needing some funding for their kids to eat, and just some different things that were going on there. And then just kind of serving at times different families. If in one situation, some kids needed to ride to school a few days a week, different things that need to happen. That's the idea of sharing. And so that's something I do directly, but there are other people in our community that do that all the time. And so the idea is just to promote that and encourage it, and also to give people the experience of understanding that we can share and not feel that they have to give us back anything. If they want to, great, but they don't have to. That's the key to sharing. And then, of course, this year did a lot of podcasts. Not as many as I'd like to because it's a busy season sometimes for people, but did several podcasts, and the cities that they were done in were Miami, Ocala, Orlando, Atlanta, Nashville, and Maryland. So being able to connect with people in those areas and do podcasts with them and have a great experience of learning more about how that person and their organization and their efforts are in serving the communities is excellent. So some of those podcasts that were really awesome to be able to do included Hope for Miami, included the Watchman Action Group, and that was an amazing thing, especially in the year that we had an election, because they are there to help communities know how to learn about how they can serve as a citizen and understand things, not just based on a political point of view, but actually just understanding what it's like to be a citizen, what our role is, and what we should know about what's taking place. So the Watchman Action was awesome. And I got to say, again, Ocala for Jesus, they're doing amazing things out there, and just wanting to encourage people that the idea of learning more about these type of organizations and supporting them, even in prayer, is a wonderful thing. So be sure to check out those podcasts if you haven't had a chance to. There's been some foundational giving. The Miami Foundation this past year, as usual, with Give Miami Day was very helpful. Even in the little bit of donation we got, we still got some money from the Miami Foundation. And then Del Riego Foundation was also very generous. And these type of things, these type of organizations can be very helpful for us to help others. So very grateful for that. The wellness company benefit has also been a very consistent thing every month. A little bit of jingle comes in, and I do have a grant that is provided through Havanita Ministry for people that are open to learning more about the company and being able to have two options, either just be a customer or maybe start marketing and making a little jingle for themselves as well. The blessing is that it's a sharing thing. It's not something that anybody just gets something, everybody gets to receive too. So that's why I really enjoy this wellness company, because it's also very healthy. It's United States based, and they help tons of things that are going on out there, including a lot of the crises that have happened with the hurricanes, with the recent fire in California, with the things that happened, the fire that happened in Hawaii. This organization, when you shop from them, they turn around and they share that to help others too. So I love being connected with a company like that because it maps to this organization, and that's why I continue with that. So again, I always encourage anybody, if you're open to just learning about it and seeing if the wellness grant fits for you, I'm here to serve. As well, this year was awesome in that I was able to finally write a devotional that I kind of had in my head for a while. So it's called Giving Plus Receiving Equals Sharing, and it's a 31-day devotional. And the idea behind it is that each day is not just a reflection from the scripture and some thoughts, but also some questions. So it's kind of a journal as well. And it's a great opportunity to grow and learn. And at the same time, it's also a wonderful time to really spend some time reflecting on sharing, because sometimes we really don't dig deep enough in some of these thoughts and how it applies. And one of my favorite things about this is just really understanding how God has designed us to share, because that is the essence of who our God is. And also know that this is available on Amazon and has been published in that realm. And all the royalties go directly to Hannah. So anyone who's willing to purchase and even buy and share the book for somebody else, the benefit goes back to Hannah, so we can help others as well. And again, it's always just good to know how to get in touch with us, and the social media component is also very important. So if you need to find more on how to reach out to Havanita Ministry, just go to havanitaministry.com. There's different information on that, including social media locations. It also has a donation link. There's also the grant opportunity is on there, and you can learn a little bit more about the organization. And for some people, you can share on the survey about something that you have that you want to share or something that you need. And if there's something that we can do, we try to do it. It's not always, but we do the best we can. So again, the website has access to the social media, YouTube, the podcast. You can donate. So go for it. It's been a great season, and this thing has grown beyond what I could have expected. So I'm really hoping that Have Anita Ministry will have another amazing year this year. And we're just trusting that God is going to be the source as always. So if you are interested in learning more, again, always feel free to check out the social media, go on our website, and see how you can be of support and learn how to share. And remember that the things that we share on social media are things that you can also share in your communities of influence. And that's really what the motivation is. We just want to encourage other people to promote sharing in their community. So thank you so much for listening, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you for sharing your time listening to this Let's Share podcast. Our hope is that you receive some inspiration to give and receive, because giving plus receiving equals sharing. If you want to learn more about Have Anita Ministry, go to haveanitaministry.com. Look forward to connecting soon.